Hi everyone, this is KiwiFrag and I'm here today to provide you guys with a list of the February 2024 tier list in ranked for Pokemon Unite. So I think this is an accurate list of the capabilities of the Pokemon in ranked matches. Of course, it will be excluding EX Pokemon because they're disallowed in ranked, but other than that, I want to film this video so I can share my ideas with you guys. Of course, they're not objective. You guys can feel free to chip in and give your opinions on my tier list. So let's start off with the attackers. So starting with Cinderace, my very first attacker, I would like to put this bad boy in tier B. I'm so sorry Cinderace fans out there, but in my opinion, Cinder is not really up there in terms of power. Yes, it's good, it can shred and everything, but given the capabilities relative to other Pokemon, there are Pokemon that are just much better than Cinder at doing that, like Decidueye, Glaceon, and they have the abilities to escape and do much more compared to Cinderace. And Cinderace was good last time, but now with many more counters to it, it's just not that good in ranked, especially its early game can be so easily exploited by the opponents. Next, we move on to Cramorant. This little boy, depending on your build, I think you would go into the A tier. Whether they want Damager or CC, crowd control, this is always a reliable pick because the Dive and Hurricane is good for damage, chip damage, and mobility, and your Hurricane Surf is excellent CC crowd control on melee Pokemon. So Cramorant is self-explanatory, A tier, solid Pokemon. For Alolan Ninetales, this, assuming you're going Blizzard Avalanche, you would be chucked into the S tier. Now, Alolan Ninetales, very widely seen in competitive Unite as well. The CC capabilities of this Pokemon is very good defensive wise, and when you play this Pokemon defensively, you can then translate the fight into your favor. It also deals a really heavy amount of damage if you know the Blizzard into Avalanche combo, as well as the Unite move into Eject Button combo, which can really deal heaps of damage in one go. Yeah. Alright, next attacker would be Mr. Venusaur. Venusaur, I would put him in the A tier, and definitely I would chuck this guy above Cramorant. Why? Venusaur's damage is insane on Solar Beam, and not only that, he's a pretty flexible Pokemon as well. If you need a sustaining offlaner, you can also run with Venusaur because his healing is also excellent. He also provides pretty decent CC given his boosted attack, boosted basic if you run Muscle Band or Rapid Fire Scarf, which increases your fire rate. You can quickly just keep stunning opponents again and again and maintain your lead very well. So as long as you play the early game relatively fine, you should be well off from there as a Venusaur. Okay, now for the next attacker. It's sort of an assassin, it's Greninja. Greninja, I would definitely place him in the A tier, above Venusaur, one of the top assassins, and also very versatile. You can play him as an attacker with the Water Shuriken build, or you can play him as an assassin with the Surf build. Either way, both builds are really good. You can play X attack, you can play Eject Button, you can play Full Heal. All these items work on Greninja, and Greninja's Unite move always very reliable, secure. So Greninja, A tier, very solid assassin. My next Pokemon would be Pikachu. Pikachu, the attacker, the disruptor. I would place him in the A tier above Cramorant. Pikachu is a strong one, especially in rank, because you can play both support type and attack type. If you want damage, you play Thunderbolt. If you want more CC as a disruptor, you can play EXP share on this dude, and definitely go for the Volt Tackle one. Because Volt Tackle, you can catch a lot of assassins and kill people in the process. Plus, your Unite move is crazy when used correctly, so you need to take care and just position yourself correctly, this mage is amazing. Next would be Gardevoir. Gardevoir also another solid attacker because Gardevoir is a very reliable mage, can attack from a good distance, and when well guarded, no pun intended, this Pokemon can deal heaps and bounds of damage on opponents' melee Pokemon who won't be able to reach Gardevoir. Plus, the Unite move at level 9 plus with Energy Amplifier is a game changer. You can play the Unite move, catch a bunch of opponents in your Unite move, and then one single side shot can kill them all. So Gardevoir is really someone you need to play. You need to play Gardevoir with much careful and observance, so you are able to know when to use your skills correctly. Now, Sylveon, underrated attacker, definitely S tier in ranked. You play both builds, Hyper Voice for the damager, and for an offlaner you'd play Mystical Fire. Mystical Fire works in ranked games as well. If you want to play 5 stacks and you still want to go Mystical Fire, I would recommend Jungle Sylveon. You either take top Baltoy and the red buff to split the jungle with your other EV teammate, or you can play Jungle Sylveon, take the 2 buffs and rotate. Either way you can help push, because Jungle Sylveon can help push a lot of goal zones, and you can help your teammates get the stacks. So S tier above A9. And next Pokemon would be Decidueye. Decidueye sadly would be next to Cinderace on the B tier. It's not the strongest, has a lot of potential definitely, but it's just outclassed by, it's just outperformed by just another sniper that's way better than it, that I will talk about later, that's Inteleon. And there are too many counters against Decidueye that he just can't handle himself, even with a proper battle item and properly guarded. Say you are Zeraora or Dodrio, you can reach that Decidueye, and Decidueye can't do anything about it. He only has Shadow Sneak, which has a that is the highest it can go, right above Cinderace. Next would be Duraludon. Now, Duraludon, honestly a very disappointing character. I'm putting him in the C tier. He used to be really Glash Cannon, you're just stuck there, opponents can just walk out of the zone. I feel like Duraludon doesn't scar as much as other Pokemon do, say Espeon, say Mew, say Glaceon. They're just way better attackers and can keep dishing out the damage required as compared to Duraludon. Now next attacker, Espeon. Espeon easily chucks itself in the S tier above Sylveon because of the sheer amount of damage it does, and not only that, you can play literally all 4 combinations of its 2 moves and it will still work. Of course there are better combinations, which is in my opinion Stored Power and Psybeam is the best one for right now, but it's not only that, its Unite move can catch assassins and throw them off, assuming they're not running full heal, which I'll get to that later. So Espeon very strong mage, S tier. Now next attacker, Delphox. Delphox used to be really meta, but now I'm afraid it's landed itself in the B tier above Decidueye definitely. Good mage, but just there are a lot more Pokemon that outshine it, like Gardevoir, Pikachu, that can disrupt opponents way more. A9, those kind of stuff. Delphox is there, but it's not quite as well, because it's not the strongest either. Next Pokemon, Glaceon. The S plus tier. Glaceon is a very solid attacker, whichever build you are using. Which movesets, you just need to make sure you pick the correct build. For example, playing your Shell Bell on the Icy Wind build and your double specs as well as Twisted Spoon on the Icicle Spear build. You'll definitely cook on Glaceon, because Glaceon, as long as you run jungle, even in lane, not too bad either. You get your level 6 and you can start really smashing at the opponent. So it's S plus tier Pokemon, very solid against any team composition. Next attacker that we are going to rank is Mew. Now Mew, it is definitely, in my opinion, the most difficult attacker to play out there, but when done right, it is the best attacker in my opinion, and one of the best in the game in terms of Pokemon. because Mew, she is way too versatile. She has so many moves, and if you switch them correctly and play it right, Mew is an amazing Pokemon, and it can really damage and scar the opponents as much as you like, and that's what you want on Mew. It has the CC on Surf, on Light Screen, also a form of CC, agility for movement, everything. It literally has everything, even support. It can shield its teammates with coaching. Mew is an all-in-one package, so you definitely want to run Mew. Plus a completely broken Unite move. It can literally become untouchable for a period of time, and that is something that not all Pokemon have, so I think Mew is a very strong pick here. Next attacker would be Dragapult. Dragapult, given the recent buffs, its Phantom Force build definitely puts it up in the S+ tier. Dragapult is a very strong Pokemon. He's very easy to play as well, so definitely lends itself an S+, but when done right, it also can really just scar and rip through opposing teams and maintain a good lead given its good mobility. Shadow Ball plus stacking on that Phantom Force, your attack can go up by I don't know how many, it's limitless, so as much kills as you get, as much as you cook on Dragapult, you'll cook even more, so Dragapult very strong pick in ranked. Alright, time for the next attacker. The next attacker we'll be ranking is going to be Chandelure. Chandelure is a very strong pick, both in ranked and in competitive Unite. So when I ranked Chandelure, I was thinking, should I place it in the S tier or the A tier? But given some considerations, I've decided to put it in the A tier, because Chandelure, whether you run Overheat or Flamethrower, damage-wise Flamethrower is better, but Overheat has more mobility. For example, not mobility on the Pokemon itself, but say the opposing Pokemon is Sylveon, who keeps switching her position with Mystical Fire. You can follow up with your Overheat by redirecting your moves. While Flamethrower, you have to reposition yourselves to get that cooldown reduction, so I personally think Overheat is just as good, if not better. You can check out my YouTube video on getting 120k plus damage on Overheat against Gardevoir in 5-sec ranked. You can check that play out. Alright, next Pokemon we'll be ranking will be Inteleon. Now, this is our second last attacker. Inteleon is definitely very strong, so I'm placing Inteleon up there in the S tier above Espeon, because Inteleon, with its Snapshot ability, when you play it correctly, holy crap, this guy deals insane damage. But definitely he takes a lot of skill to aim. So Inteleon, the only downside is that its splash damage is very little. You need literally 2 people standing on each other in order for the splash damage to take place, so there's not much splash there, but for picking off weak opponents, you can definitely pick Inteleon, and good poke as well. One of the longest range in the game, if not the longest, I think. Second would be light boosted Solar Beam for Mew, if you are ignoring Lucario, of course. Alright, next would be the final one, which is Mewtwo EX. Mewtwo Y, definitely not gonna rank it because it's an EX Pokemon. Now, let's move on to the second class, Defenders. Now, Defenders is a very... Now, if you play Defender in ranked, I would first like to thank all Defender players in ranked. Thank you so much for your contribution to society. You are an amazing person. We need more people like you, Defenders and supporters, okay? Defenders, let's start off with Slowbro. Slowbro, a very strong, solid defender. Easy S tier pick. Placing it right above Alolan Ninetales right there. S tier Slowbro. Slowbro really can disrupt the opponents very well, and is a very strong pick against assassins such as Zoroark or Scyther, who can literally easily rip through opponents, even not assassins, people who need to get close to you and are quite fragile. You can instantly lock them with your Unite move or Telekinesis assuming you're playing that instead of Amnesia, and then your teammates can quickly burst them down. Slowbro, very solid pick. Just make sure you need to know when you use your Unite move. Next, Crustle. If you're playing an off-laner Crustle, this guy is top tier, top of the S tier, insane Pokemon right here. If you play the Shell Smash and X-Scissor build, they're a very strong Pokemon. You can just poke, run away, and if you need Emergency Shield, you can play your Unite move. Crustle is definitely one of, if not the best defender out there, if it wasn't outclassed by two other defenders that I'll get to later. But Crustle is very good off-laner, and Rock Tomb is really good as well. If you're playing the Rock Tomb X-Scissor or Stealth Rock build, you can keep opponents away and catch/trap opposing Pokemon. Okay, next defender, Snorlax. Snorlax, compared to the other defenders, I'm very sorry to the Snorlax fans out there, easy B tier, because Snorlax, all there is to you is heavy slamming and yawning or blocking opponents unless you're playing the Flail build, which is a gamble honestly, because there are other better so-called Flail Pokemon such as Dragonite, who plays Outrage. His is way better, and a way better early game if you're going jungle for Dragonite. Snorlax is not that strong of a pick nowadays, so I'm afraid it goes in the B tier if the other Pokemon are played well. However, if you pair Snorlax with Mew, then things would change, because Snorlax and Mew is an insane combo. If you played in the same lane, guaranteed results will happen, because Snorlax can disrupt opponents while Mew disrupts and deals damage. So that's a very good combo there. Very good early game, can use to dominate opponents. Next defender would be Blastoise. Blastoise outclasses Crustle in my opinion by a mile. I would place it above Glaceon. If you play Blastoise right, it has 3 possible movesets for you to use, which are namely Hydro Pump Surf for full defender, Hydro Pump Rapid Spin for offensive defender, and Rapid Spin Water Spout for off-laner. If you're playing the all-rounder build, which is Rapid Spin Water Spout, good for you. You're not only the tank and the disruptor, you're also the team's core damager, so it's up to you to keep chipping off the health of high mobility opponents. That's your job as a Rapid Spin Blastoise. Very good Pokemon. I'm placing it in the S+ tier. Next one will be Mamoswine. Mamoswine has always been quite the mediocre pick. I would place it above Greninja though, right there. That would be Mamo's position. Mamo paired with Ninetales has always been quite the good pick, but I feel Mamoswine doesn't do as much as Slowbro or Crustle would. Its catching though, and its early game is incredible. Its early game is arguably better than its evolution, which is Piloswine. Swinub is arguably better than Piloswine, yes, I would argue for that. Mamoswine, however, you can really disrupt opponents very well. You can catch them with your Earthquake or High Horsepower, and Ice Fang would be your #1 pick if you're not playing the Icicle Crash build. Ice Fang is very good for catching assassins. I've played this quite many times. My win rate has been very high for Mamoswine, so do play that in ranked more often if you want to protect your attackers. Next defender, Greedent. This boy, sorry. Very lousy defender. Easily counter, not enough damage even if you stack 6 stacks. The only way for Greedent to cook is for you and your entire team to be over leveled, which is almost impossible. But Greedent paired with another Pokemon I'll be talking about later is an insane combo that could literally ruin lives and make people quit Unite. And that would be Greedent and Comfey, but I will get to that later when I talk about Comfey. Next Pokemon, Trevenant. Trevenant also has been quite the mediocre defender, very good when played with say Dragapult, but I'll place it in A tier just above Mamoswine because Trevenant, you're mainly making use of the Wood Hammer. The secondary move is up to you, but it's a solid CC Pokemon. and when played right, you can keep the opponents at bay while your attackers are busy chipping off their health. So Trevenant is a solid pick. Next defender would be Goodra. Goodra, if you're picking the Muddy Water build, I think it would be A tier at best. I would place it just above Cramorant right there, because Goodra, you play Muddy Water and you will be the disruptor of the team because you are reducing the damage. But if you're playing Dragon Pulse, you are the damager, you're basically an all-rounder. But the thing is, Goodra takes a long time to activate, especially since you're a defender. Most of the time you're running EXP share. So Goodra, I would not recommend in ranked. If you want though to play Goodra, you need to make sure you either have a support Pokemon with you ready to EXP share for you, or you are EXP sharing to a reliable attacker that can carry you to a Goodra after you have given it farm to get its Swiss Power Spike. Okay, next would be Lapras. Now after the nerfs, Lapras dropped from S+ tier all the way down, in my opinion, to C tier. Seriously, not enough damage. The only good thing about it is the Lapras Express, which can only hold one person, so not incredible, this Pokemon. Next Pokemon, Umbreon. Umbreon has always been, in my opinion, in fact, the best defender out there. Whether it's foul play or mean look, it's an insane defender. And its power spike is level 4 only, which you can get even when you're playing EXP share before 950, before 850 Bs. So honestly, Umbreon is just the best defender out there. There's no argument for it. It's the best defender. Okay, now we're moving on to the next class, the Speedsters. Now, the Speedsters are mostly concentrated around the center of the tier list, I would say. There's no particularly insane Speedster and there's no very bad Speedster either, so when played right, here are the rankings. First Speedster, Gengar. I won't explain too much. Gengar would be somewhere here, I would say. Above Pikachu, definitely. Gengar, when you play it correctly and you get it to its power spike first, it can rip through teams with its Dream Eater Shadow Ball build with the correct combos, of course. Next would be Absol. Absol, in my opinion, would be the worst Speedster. I'm sorry guys, I'm sorry Absol fans. Absol, you're plopping in the B tier. Yes, below all of these, below Cinderace, Absol. You play it right, it's fine, but if your opponents are good, then you're not gonna do very much. Next would be Talonflame. Talonflame right under Gengar, I'd say. Talonflame, if you play Brave Bird and not play the other build, which is Fly. Fly is honestly just for scared people. Brave Bird, Aerial Ace, you play that and you maintain that level gradient, you are going to do well. So A tier. And that if you maintain level gradient is a big if, because there's a high chance you won't, because Talonflame's power spike is level 7, whereas a lot of these Pokemon's power spike, of course excluding Inteleon, Dragapult, these kind, their power spike is at level 4 or 5 or 6, so you are going to get shat on if you don't quickly level up. Zeraora, better than Gengar, definitely. I would say this Speedster is very strong. It can quickly burst down an attacker, I'd say. If you burst every single skill on one Pokemon, you can take out any of these Pokemon right here, assuming Mew and Sylveon don't unite. So you can use this as a quick delete button for any of the fragile cookers on fragile chefs on the other team. Next, Speedster Dodrio. Dodrio is second best Speedster in my opinion. I would put it at the top of the A tier. Tri-attack or drill pack, it still is very good as long as you run jump kick, because jump kick gives you the stun and extra basic attack to move anywhere you want or attack as well. Dodrio has always been a strong pick, plus the Unite move Triple Trample. You can use it to break off the opponent's formation. Very strong Pokemon. Okay, next we come to Zoroark. Zoroark, it Zoroark is the best speedster out there in my opinion. I would put it right above Inteleon. Yeah, right above Inteleon, below Crustle definitely. Zoroark does counter these S plus Pokemon. The reason why it's not higher is because they are most likely gonna rank with a defender that hard counters Zoroark, say Slowbro, Umbreon, Crustle, Mamoswine. These Pokemon really target Zoroark a lot, and even with the illusion ability, it's very difficult to avoid these defenders. So you need to be careful. Though Zoroark, when played right, is very strong. Leafeon. Leafeon, in my opinion, third best, top of A tier for me. Sorry, not top, right under Dodrio for me. Third best because Leafeon, your Solar Blade, is very good secure move and it comes very often. So plus your burst from your Unite move, there's not much to be said, this is a very strong Pokemon. And last speedster, Meowscarada. Meowscarada would be placed, I would say, slightly above, above Zeraora. With Night Slash or Flower Trick double team, you can also do that. Both movesets work. Plus the Unite move, play eject button, and you're good to go. Okay, next class, supporters. Supporters are definitely strong as well. If you play supporters, you are a literal angel. Like, I swear to God. Like, I will bow to you when I see you in real life. You guys are amazing. Let's start first one. Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff's more of a defender than a supporter in my opinion. If you play Wigglytuff, you need to make sure that your teammates can damage well as well. So Wigglytuff, I would say A tier, somewhere around, under Talonflame. Definitely above the Speedster, so I'll put somewhere here. The Disruptor is very good over here. Mr. Mime under Snorlax, under Delphox. This guy, I mean, with a good team you can do well, don't get me wrong, but in ranked I don't think you're gonna do much with Mr. Mime because yes, you have the secure move on Confusion, but that's a one-time thing, so for the next 4 seconds, which is likely the amount of time any of these attackers will take to burst you down, you're gonna die. So yes, you can't rely on your defenders as well. So I presume Mr. Mime would be at somewhere B tier. Now Eldegoss, holy crap, this man, Eldegoss is a madman, I'm telling you. It's an insane supporter. I put Eldegoss up there with Slowbro. I'll put Eldegoss right here. Eldegoss is a very strong supporter because not only is it a healer, it's a damager as well. On average among the supporters, Eldegoss is up there on most damage on average each game. Plus the poke on your basic attack, you can keep slowing opponents down and disrupting them. So you're also the disruptor Pokemon. Eldegoss is very strong. Next would be Blissey. Blissey, I would place Blissey better than Wigglytuff for me. I'll place it somewhere here, above the Greninja meta. You know what? Even above Mamoswine. Blissey is very strong. On the egg build, you can heal up single target on your side, and your Unite move is a lifesaver, especially against Pokemon like Slowbro or Umbreon or Mimikyu who will quickly lock the team's core. You can give them a big shield to keep on sustaining. The next supporter would be Hoopa. Now, Hoopa is a very versatile supporter, S tier for me. I put him up there next to Eldegoss. Hoopa is a god. If you play it right, you can definitely save a lot of teammates, and as long as you place your portals correctly and at the right time, at the right place, and know when to switch into your Unite move and how to place the portal so that you don't send your teammates into a roadkill, Hoopa is a very good Pokemon. Can keep transporting people on that hyperspace highway from top to bottom lane. So Hoopa is a very strong supporter. Next would be Clefable. Clefable, always in my heart, best supporter. You also see a lot of Clefable bands out there, arguably better than Blastoise. Clefable is up there. When you play Clefable right, if you play Clefable in solo queue and you stick to the strongest Pokemon in your team, that's how you auto win. That's literally how you auto win. Plus, if you know how to use the Unite move, stay in range because you need to be prepared. Whichever move you roll, you do something. I have seen a few Clefables, they roll, they're expecting something like, you know, Fly, something like Hydro Pump, something like Hyper Beam, something you can hold in reserve before you move. So they unite out of range and then suddenly they roll Explosion and it does nothing, but actually could have done something. So you need to be prepared for every scenario for Clefable. Sableye. Yeah, this guy, I'm sorry. You play it right, you know, you play it right A tier, but a lot of people can't play it right. I'm putting it in B tier. It's not better than Snorlax, definitely. I'm putting it here. Sableye is a prankster Pokemon for a reason. Okay, and lastly, I would give Comfey the A tier, bottom of A tier. Used to be OP, but this Pokemon in rank does amplify any of the meta Pokemon. Say Metagross is the meta, then you put a Comfey on Metagross, it's no longer the meta, it's just a god. So Comfey is a strong one, but there are definitely better supporters that can do more, such as Clefable. Okay, now for the last role, the all-rounders. Now I'll start with a controversial one, which is Scyther. Scyther has always been an all-rounder in my opinion. Its sustaining is very good. Yes, it's high mobility, high damage, high speed, but Scyther's always been an all-rounder at heart. Yes, it's an assassin. It's still good, okay? Scyther, right there, right under Chandelure. Now, mastering Scyther is very difficult. You just need to do it right and know when to charge in, which is the most difficult thing for Scyther, because Scyther is a very expensive assassin slash core of your team. But if you play it right, it's a very good Pokemon. Can quickly team wipe very squishy teams. Next would be Garchomp. Garchomp, I would say, is not very good right now. Under Mr. Mime over there, there are just too many things that counter it. Similar for Machamp. Machamp, I would place him also here, but it's just a large group of Pokemon that are like that, such as Charizard as well. Charizard is under Absol for me. Not very strong. The only thing that makes it strong is its Unite move, but say they have an Umbreon, they can quickly lock you and you can't do anything. So once again, just too many counters. But next we get to Lucario. Lucario, very strong, has always been one of the strongest all-rounders out there. I would place it up at A tier. Extreme speed or power up punch, you can secure a lot of things, you can do a lot of things with Lucario. Two things I'd run on Lucario, eject or full heal, depending on your build. But this Pokemon has always been strong, and its Unite move is insane, it's crazy. Next would be Tsarina. Most would say this is quite bad, but actually you shouldn't underestimate the Tsarina, especially after its new buffs. I would put Tsarina up here together with Scyther because it's really a good sustainer. Like, honestly, you play with Blissey, it can do a lot of stuff and kill a lot of squishy opponents. Plus the Unite move can single target any squishy Pokemon, so you can do that very quickly and just take down core after core and get them to only their defenders left, and that's when your attackers cook. Next, all-rounder, Dragonite. Dragonite is above Tsarina for me, right under Scyther. Dragonite is a very strong Pokemon, but if you play Hyper Beam, also does well, but not as good as Outrage in my opinion. Definitely need to run Dragon Dance. If you want to run Extreme Speed, then you'll probably need a Helping Hand Blissey with you. Yeah. Next would be Aegislash in ranked. Always has been very strong. Up there with Dragonite and Tsarina. Aegislash is just there because, you know, its sustaining is really good. Its Wide Guard skill can block a lot of very strong shots. And if you use your stun change well, you can switch between basically a tank and an attacker. So Aegislash is a versatile Pokemon, very good sustain, and very good secure on the Unite move. Okay, next all-rounder, Azumarill. Azumarill has been a mediocre Pokemon up to this point, but if you maintain a lead well, I would put Azumarill somewhere above Meowscarada. Not the meta exactly, but Azumarill, if you play it right, you'll be a very reliable, sustaining Pokemon. You play Drain Crown on it and it's basically unkillable, and your Unite move can be used to assassinate any weak opponent. So as long as you maintain yourself in a 1v1 situation at all times, Azumarill should be fine, just fine, but not as good as the others because it's heavily countered by a lot of the meta Pokemon right now. Next would be Buzzwole. Buzzwole, very just solid AF all-rounder, up there with Crustle. Buzzwole is the go-to top lane in my opinion for all-rounders. You play Buzzwole right, you will deal insane amounts of damage, and if you know how to use Superpower Plus to keep comboing that muscle gauge, you'll do just fine. Tyranitar's sort of in a similar spot as Charizard. It's down there. Early game is terrible. It's too bad. I'm sorry, Tyranitar. You just need either more healing, more stuns, more damage. I don't know. You just need to do something to your early game, man. People are gonna exploit Tyranitar for its early game, so please do not run Tyranitar in ranked if another person wants to take jungle, because this thing cannot do it. It's basically non-existent until level 9. Yeah. Okay, next Scizor. Scizor, C tier. Top of C tier. Strong, but hasn't been exactly the strongest, especially if you play that, okay, you play that double hit build, maybe you can bring it up to a B tier, but most people play Sword Stance and it's not very good. It's hard countered by the meta, which is Clefable, so you if there's a Clefable in the opposing team, you are basically screwed, you can't do anything. Next, Dark Bear. Dark Urshifu, I'll place it in the definitely A tier, better than these three actually, right under Scyther. Dark Bear has always been very reliable. That Unite move, strong. That Secure, strong. Third Chop, good mobility. Yeah, just very good all-rounder in general. But what is bad is its counterpart Water Bear. I would place it in D tier, above Greedent. Water Bear is terrible right now, but after the nerfs, you won't see another Water Bear jungling ever again. If you see this thing, jungle does not deserve the jungle. It's weak sauce, hard countered by Clefable, Umbreon, these kind of Pokemon can be easily ripped to shreds. Next, two all-rounders, Zacian, Mewtwo, X. Not gonna rank them because they are disgustingly OP. Okay, maybe not Mewtwo X right now, but Zacian, even after the nerfs, is not OP anymore, but it's EX Pokemon, so we're not gonna play them in ranked anyways. Next, Blaziken. Blaziken S+. S+ tier. Yes. Bottom of S+ tier, definitely. You play Blaziken right, this thing is gonna deal insane damage, and its sustain is very good if you maintain that level gradient, which is easy to get if your laner ganks the same lane as you. Say you're top laning Blaziken stacking, and then your laner, your jungler, comes to the top as well to help you stack. That's when you get the level gradient, and that's when you start doing well. So Blaziken's a very strong Pokemon. Mimikyu, I don't know how to put this, but I'll put it somewhere here. Okay, I'll place it above Wigglytuff. Mimikyu's not the strongest assassin, especially after Play Rough's cooldown has been decreased. With Shadow Claw now, it's hard countered by Clefable, so really shut down by a lot of Pokemon. If it's rare case, in the rare scenario where you're not shut down by any Pokemon, you're definitely gonna do a lot with Mimikyu. So this is very situational. Metagross, after the nerfs on Gyro Ball, I can only say I'm sorry to all of you Metagross fans. Under Azumarill, not a very strong all-rounder at all. Metagross can't do as much to can't deal as much damage to a squishy Pokemon than say Azumarill can, because Azumarill can latch onto them, but he can only use Zen Hitba and stuff like that slow down the speed, so Metagross has not been the best, although if you play with a Comfy, it is very good. But this is the max I will put it. Next would be Gyarados. Gyarados, C tier with Scizor, weak sauce in early game, still weak sauce in late game. If you're not like 3 levels above, you're basically doomed. So yeah, Gyarados is one of the weakest all-rounders out there. And yeah, that's it. That is my tier list for Pokemon Unite, February 2024. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. which Pokemon deserve to be bumped up a tier or bumped down a tier, or maybe the orders in the tier themselves are wrong or incorrect, you can definitely share them in the comments below and we can discuss this, and I can definitely make an update on the tier list in March, hoping to see Phalanx and Miraidon come in balanced but also pretty good. I would say I want them in around the A or S tier, not S plus tier. I mean, S plus tier is still balanced right now, but you bring a Miraidon into like Mewtwo tier, which is nightmarish. I'm not gonna like the game and I'm not gonna play it for a very long time. So I have high hopes for the new Pokemon, and this is my tier list. Thank you very much